Ọ bịara nwee isi, nwee ọdụ, onye iberibe gbanye n'etiti, ọ bụrụ onye akpịrị. What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without faint. Where we encourage us to live our lives and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth. The knowledge of factual truth is natural thing, is just talking about nature, is talking about reality, talking about facts, not belief. So that's why I personally encourage you to enjoy your life. And the only way you can enjoy your life is through knowledge. Know yourself, know your path, then do what you know. Stop doing what you believe, what others tell you. Oh, maybe sometime again I will spend time to talk about dreams. Some of you have become victims or followers of men that are exploiting you daily because of dream. You have dream and you didn't even listen to yourself. You just made concluded based on what they have been telling you about dreams. So after you have dream, you begin to look for who to interpret it for you. The dream you have, you're the one that saw it. No one else see it. I mean, no one else saw it. So why do you need somebody else to interpret it? You are the one that saw the dream. You're supposed to be the interpreter. So, but you see, some of the useless things, garbage they raise us up with in spirituality and religion. Many of us that claim to be woke are still carrying those garbage, and that's why you see them upset when they see sexy women and all that. The volume is low, I think is maybe whatever you are using, or maybe that's how Facebook wanted to be, but I don't have problem with that. Uh, then no problem from my side. So don't become a follower. You everybody that person you want to follow, does that person have two heads? Because that's what many of you think I am for. Or maybe they know. We need no more movement. We need no more these things people are making. No, the solution to our problem is so simple. And when you're talking about woke nation, I said we are not trying to raise another system to fight the one system. No, another thing to do as they do to do. No, first we gotta have our people the place of power and in powerful positions. So let's say they arrest you now, they say you blaspheme against their God or against their whatever, and you go to the court. The judges, the lawyers, all of them, they are all believe in God. You have no case. They will, of course, they will sentence you. So you're supposed to use your brain, think. If you're in the area where they say don't talk, move, that's why you have two legs. Nature never asks you to die for it, no. Nature never asks you to fight for it, no. You don't have to. The same way you're supposed to live. So they say they're not patronizing you where you are, so you will die of hunger because you say our God is not real. Of course, you know they are the one you have product that are buying. That's so you go another place where you can sell your product. It's simple. I hear some of you complaining or trying to raise money from people. No, that's not the woke way. No, 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 don't do that. Work is to motivate you to. That's why we're supposed to be inventing things, not just talking. No, do something. They don't accept you there, so what can you do? Move away, go somewhere else, leave. Okay, say you want to die. It's not a bad thing. Go ahead. So, um, as you know, and as I've been saying, at the root of our problem as human beings is God. Without God, we don't have any problem. God brought the idea of good and evil. God brought the idea of opposite. Like this one is opposite this one. Instead of balance, it's opposite. So it being that fighting, they arrive at, so God have Satan, good and evil. Yeah, good and evil. Um, Light and darkness fighting, everything fighting, male and female. Oh, women is under men. You see, that's what concept of God brought. And many of you don't care to know that's the problem. You think it is the people. That's another thing the religious people succeeded in doing. They succeeded in making people to blame themselves, not that thing they worship or that thing they believe that is higher than them, that thing they believe that created them. So if, let's say, God created you, actually you're supposed to be blaming the God that created you in the way you are. You're suffering, you can't find solution to your problem. It seems like some people are choosing, some are not. So you're supposed to be blaming that God. But you are not a creature of any God. You don't need to blame any God or anyone. You can change your condition. No one have two hairs. But do you have what it takes to change your condition? Let me do you have the ability, or have you made up your mind that it can do whatever it takes to change your condition? Some people change their condition with gun. Some people change their condition with pain. Some people change their condition with lies. There are many ways people change their condition. But when it comes to nature, if you have not found your path, you are hiding problem to yourself. You'll be like you're grouping in darkness. You can't see. Your eyes is open, but you can't see your way. But you need to bring that light, knowledge. Seek for knowledge. Know yourself. Know your path, and walk in it. What's up, man? So the proof of God is what I'm talking about today. The proof of God's existence. So the question is, where now is God? When you read, so welcome to Bible study. When you read Psalm chapter 115, 2 and 5, if you use King James Version, you will understand it better. But when you use other versions, they remove the word now. I don't know how many versions that remove the now, but they just put where is God. No, the question is this: Psalm 115. He says that why should the Gentiles, why should the other nations say now, where is now their God? Where is now their God? Not where is their God? No. The right question is this: where is now their God? In the time of need, in reality, when they are suffering, when they need that God the most, where is now their God? Those that say they believe in God, God exists, God this. When you see them walking at their working place, ask them, where is now your God? When you see them queuing in a line, with the other people in the condition that everybody is experiencing, that if their God is, they're not supposed to experience it like other people. Ask them, where is their God now? Where is your God now? Where is now your God? The fact remains that God never existed. God never spoken to anyone. God is the lie used to deceive the world. Man made God. God is a man-made fairy. Man made God invisible monster to be feared by the gullible people. People they subdued, people they dominate, people they enslave, people they convert. The only ultimate, the only authentic proof, of God is God itself showing up physically, not spiritually, not in the dream, not in the vision, not through somebody. No, God itself. Because if that God has any power, at least he's supposed to have power to show up and say, this is me. So there will be no confusion among his worshippers. So that's the only authentic proof. God Himself showing up physically and speaking for Himself. Any God people are speaking for or fighting for, that God is man made. That God does not exist. That God never existed. People made God, people preach God, people defend God, people fight for God, people speak for God. God cannot exist in reality. No matter how you try to argue about it, God cannot exist in reality. In Luke chapter 24, from verse 36 to 43, he said that when the disciples of Jesus in the Bible saw him coming, they said they thought it was a spirit because they come from people that believe there's a spirit. So when somebody, you can see spirit, if it does not move like us, it must be a spirit. If it doesn't act like us, it must be a spirit. So they saw it, they thought it was a spirit, a ghost. He said, no, I am not a spirit. I have flesh and bones like you. Touch me. They touch him and they still have doubt. He said, do you have any food here? They bring food, he ate. So if you believe Jesus is God and Jesus is telling you there that God is not a spirit, that God you claim that made you in his own image and likeness supposed to have bones and the flesh as you do. If you are created in the image and likeness of God, God's supposed to be just like you, supposed to speak like you, supposed to be like you, supposed to walk like you. Making God invisible spirit is a big lie. God cannot be a spirit. Because they have taught us that spirit is invisible. You cannot see spirit. So if you are God, have those things that human beings have. That God, don't tell me your God is a spirit. No way. Oh, it's a spirit you cannot see, but you can worship. If God is a spirit you cannot see, then God is a spirit you cannot worship and you should not worship. And that's why you are the one getting upset for God. I don't know. I don't know what to do about the volume, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So, my own, I can hear you. I think is the phone you guys are using. Is the maybe a system? I can hear. I see. I can even hear my voice there. It's not my fault. Okay. What is not the proof of God? I want to show you some of them. It is written, it's not the proof of God's existence that there is God. It is written, you quote Bible, you quote Quran, or any book you quote. It's not a proof that God exists. Also, your experience. When I say your experience, I mean your visions, dreams, revelations. Remember, those things you see in your dream is out of the business of the day. What you have been thinking and all that, your thought made them up, and you are more than you are thought. You are above your thought. You are greater than your thought. Just as you are greater than your words, just as you are greater than your actions. So your experience is not proof of God's existence. Oh, God spoke to me. God appeared to me. God, no, that's not proof of God's existence. And what you cannot explain is not God's existence. Oh, what are you saying? Sometimes something wanted to happen to me. Boom, something remove it. It must be God that did that. No, that's your ignorance. Is that God you're talking about? That you cannot explain something, that you don't know how things work, doesn't mean it is God that is making it working or making it happening. No. Also, hearsay is not proof of God. Somebody tell you, yeah, I have seen God walk. I have seen, no, that's not proof of God's existence. Oh, no, another one is nature. Nature is not proof of God's existence. Oh, natural things you can see. Can't you see the moon? Can't you see the sun? Can't you see the sky? It's God that made them. Who made you? Idiot, you are not made. Human beings are not made. Human beings are born. They are not created. You cannot create human being. No one can create anything with life in it. They are born naturally. And you have to do it naturally for them to form. You see how people made hen to produce more eggs. It's natural. It cannot be spiritual. And those of you that are attributing your natural thing to spirituality or spiritual bullshit, stop that. Anything you are engaged in, anything you are involved in is natural. It is not spiritual. And when you go against nature in that thing you are doing, it will never work. Nothing you can achieve with spirituality. Quote me anywhere. Call anyone that is spiritual. Let that person come and do anything, no matter what that is. That thing is real. That person do it spiritually. It can never happen. You must do it physically. You must do it naturally. That's how things work. If God is as real as the sun or as anything that is real, then every eyes can and will see God. Every eye sees the sun. Even the blind sees the sun. The blind is you can play blind. To play blind, close your eyes, look at the sun. You will see sun. Even with your eyes closed, you will see the sun. It has such power. But God, you say created the sun, you cannot see. And they tell you in their book that God is a sun and the shield. So God who shines and the protects is a lie. If you can see what you believe God created, then it is a must that you see that God that created it, because God is supposed to be more real than what it created or his creations. How can you tell me God created you, but you cannot see God? Or God created your children, you cannot see God? And it's a stupid thing that people do. When I see masses of people, that believe in God and all that, I just see people converted to be liars. They are liars. God is good to me. God is a lie. They are telling lies. Thank God they are telling lies. Thank you, Jesus. They are telling lies. God's time is this. It's a lie. Proof of God's existence. I shared that video last time when that guy reviewed, it was GOT before they converted it into GOD in Germany. This is the video, right?
Gods.
See?
As far as I'm concerned. God are the gods, as far as I'm concerned, because that word did not even exist until around the 7th century AD.
See? God. That word did not exist until 7th century. Yet you see people today telling you our ancestors are worshiping God. God is this. God is like your brain. God is like this. God is like that. No, God. You don't need God. What can you do with God in reality? Nothing. Zero. Nothing. You cannot do anything in reality with God. It is people that keep changing it, and it is people in the position of power, like Akhenaten. He's the one that for everybody you must. There's one God. You must worship this God. The father of God, the father of monotheism was Akhenaten. That's Pharaoh in Egypt, and they force people. That's every religion that you see people are in today. You see people. They force people to join them. Christianity, Islam, they did not establish themselves by preaching. No, they slaughtered people. People that know they are lying, they slaughter them. You must believe. That's why they say if you don't believe, you're born in hell. You're supposed to know that there is no God. God is man-made. Stop trying to put it in certain way. Okay, this is God. Okay, this is God. I am God. No, you're not. Africans never called themselves gods and goddesses. It were the Greeks that came and saw our exploits. They saw that our people were great, building things, doing things that they never imagined. They said they are gods. That's why they put them in their Bible. I said, ye are gods. They're the one that call us gods. We never call ourselves. What do you mean God? God brings us down. We are builders, not worshippers. When you're talking about God, you begin to talk about worship. You begin to talk about slavery. We don't want into those things. We don't enslave. No, we gather ourselves and say, come, let us make. Come, let us build. Come, let us do this. And as a people, you don't have to enslave people. You don't have to force people. Understand that heaven, you say your God is the ceiling over your head. That heaven you're talking about, your God is the ceiling over your head. Seriously, where is now their God? Where is their God? Look at what is happening in Ukraine and Russia today, and answer me, where is their God? And every Sunday they still go to church. Some of them that go to Saturday synagogue, they still go to synagogue. Some of them they go to Friday mosque, they still go to mosque. But where now is their God? And they want everybody to just live like, okay, no, don't worry, it's true. Live, let them believe. No. How can you tell me there is God when people are suffering and dying? And you blame people. You say it is people in power, it is the politicians. But you believe there is God that created them. And you believe even God is the one that put them in power. So where is that God? You want us to be arguing about what? It is a stupid thing for any woke person to have argument with theists. Say you want to argue about the existence of God or the reality of the Bible. That's bullshit. You are wasting your time. You are not promoting. In fact, you are giving them more grant to raise more disciples or to encourage their fellowship. You don't waste your time for that. You trash them. If they say they want to argue, I say, okay, we come there. I will begin to trash them. Say you are stupid. If your God is real, let your God. Why are you talking? I want to argue. I can't argue with you. I teach you that there is no God, and you are the evidence that there is no God. Your God cannot help you. I can bow tie you now. Your God cannot help you. I can hit you. Your God cannot help you. You are the one that will rise to fight. Your God is useless to you. Your God is worthless to you. Your God does not exist to you in reality. And you want me to argue? Oh, shut up. What do you mean? Are you saying you are wiser than our ancestors? They had gods. Idiot. That's when it comes to spirituality, that's when you believe your ancestors. But when it comes to science, you shut your mouth and say, oh, you Barbara. White people are gray. You see, they found this. In spirituality, see Africans drag, yeah, we show our ancestors, we do the, we gods, we can see tomorrow, we can see this nonsense, but you cannot see solution to your problem. That you are God, or those the gods of your land that is able to deal with your enemies in your village. Why can't he deal with your enemies in abroad? Some of you have your relations struggling abroad, suffering for injustice, suffering for things they never committed. But you are there bragging, you have power, I have spiritual power. You don't have shit. What you have is bullshit. So long it's not helping us. If the gods they have in our land today is working, we will be in our villages. Like white people are in their villages. And they don't have any God. The God white people have is the one they created to manage us. They don't follow any God. Which God? Touch them, you see their guns. See their weapon. If their God exists as real God, let that God speak or fight for itself. You remember when Gideon father in the Judges chapter 6 verse 31, he said, if Baal is God, how dare you fight? In fact, anyone that fight for him should be put to death. He said, if he's God, let him plead for himself. Let him fight for himself. My son, throw down his images. Let Baal fight for himself. Baal means the Lord. So let God fight for himself if he's God. If your God is real. In 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 24, Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, the God that answers by fire, let him be God. Hey, that's what you should use today for all these Christians, all these Muslims, all these Jews, all these people that tell you there is God. If the God that can put food on your table now as we speak, let him be God. A plate of food. A plate of food. I'm not saying calling fire from heaven. At least food. Thieves can steal a plate of food and come and give to you. But if that God is real, let that God put food on your table as we speak. A God that can put food on your table, let him be God. It can never happen. Impossible. It can never happen. No God answers their worshippers when they call in times of need. It can never happen. When you read the First Kings chapter 18, 26 to 29, they cried, they did all that thing. Elijah began to mock them. And that's the same way you should be mocking anyone that is calling on the God of Israel or Jehovah or Allah or Yahweh. Say, where is your God now? They ask you for something, they say, where is your God? Let your God provide. If you are, I use it to mock them at work every time. Oh, help me carry this bag. I say, your God, you have to admit that your God cannot carry it. I can't. Help me open that door. Your God cannot open the door. I can't. So one of them gave me date, 31st January 2023. Say, God must arrest me. And you know, any person that speak like that must come from Nigeria. Anybody that tell you God will arrest you or Jesus will arrest you, that person must come from Nigeria. or he learned it from Nigerians. They still believe God will arrest me. God will arrest me, and they want bad thing to happen so that I will rather commit suicide than worship God or Jesus. I rather kill myself. It's great thing I will do, great favor I will do to myself. Mm. Then they tell you God's time is the best. You're talking with somebody because that's a schizophrenic statement. You have not seen God. Then you that God time is the best because somebody tell you that nonsense. There is no time for any God to answer or do anything. Their God have hands, he cannot handle anything. Their God have mouth, he cannot speak. He have eyes, he cannot see. He have nose, he cannot smell. He have ears, he cannot hear. He have legs, he cannot move. Their God is useless. Any God that has time is man-made. Any time that has a place or a place of abode is man-made. Any God that have heard, eyes, whatever human beings have, that God is man-made. It does not exist. It is what they call in their grammar English anthropomorphism. Taking the attributes or characteristics of people or man, giving it to an inanimate object or something that does not exist, something that is not real. Oh, this is God. God, I worship you. Oh, God of bottles. You are God of bottles. You do wonders. Oh, you saved me yesterday. You will save me today. As I go out today, make everything work for me. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. At least learn from your real experience. I am begging you, learn from your real experience. If your God exists, your real life experience should show you that God. Should show you if that God is real. Oh, you should not test God. I mean, that God does not exist. Everything that exists must be tested. Before you become whatever you are, you were tested. Learn from your own real life experience and the current events happening everywhere. Stop learning from books. Many of you still looking for books to read. You don't need books. It limits you. Those are the things that limits your brain. Use your brain. Use your brain. You can know everything you need to know about you, about what is around you, what is happening in this world. You can know that. Your thoughts go through and fro. Nothing can stop your thoughts from moving. The walls cannot stop your thoughts. Never. At least let the bad government teach you. If there is God, you will not have bad government in your country. You will not have bad government in your community. In fact, government is the real God. Government can tell you not come out of your house and you will obey. If you don't, they kill you or they prison you. Learn from the bad government. Learn from kidnappers, people kidnapping people. Many of you cannot travel to your village anymore because of fear of kidnappers or being kidnapped. Because when they kidnap you, they will demand for ransom. Learn from those assassins. Some of you, you know somebody they have killed. He's not supposed to die. That person is still young. He was not sick. He did not involve in any accident. He was in his house or his way home or going somewhere. They killed him. Assassin killed him. They shot him dead. Learn from it. Where is God? Where is now God? You are God. That God you're bragging about. I just know. He tell me, oh, scientists believe there is God. He said believe. They don't know. So that they are graduates doesn't mean they are smart. They are ignorant. When you see any educated one in your family or in your community or anywhere, they are educated fools. Especially we black people. They miseducated us. Everything they taught us in school, in religion, in spirituality, all of them are lies. All of them. They miseducated us. Learn from the virus. COVID-19 is still killing people. HIV is still there. People made it. Where was God when they made it? And where is God now that even Christians are contacting them and dying? Muslims are contacting them and dying. People that believe in God contacting them and dying. They are taking precautions, taking vaccines to not catch it or for it not kill them. Learn from the virus. They stole it. When they were talking about covering of hair in the Bible, he said that, does not nature teach you this? Because that's what spiritual and religious people try to do. Anytime they want to speak something that will make sense to you, they find one part of nature and add to it. They say nature teach you that men should pray, men should not have long hair. It's a lie. Nature never teach you that. Men and women, you have hair, no matter your hair, it's hair. It does its work. Learn from it. Learn from the robbers. Christians, they build their house with burglary proofs, or people that believe in God, burglary proof, they put security men, armed robbers still penetrate, come and rob them. Learn from it. You committed everything you have into the hand of God, robbers still rob you. You said there is God. No, there is your ignorance, stupidity. So all these things, join them together, consider poverty. If there is God, there won't be poverty. You believe that God created the whole world, everything belongs to him, and he made man in his own image. Why should he watch man suffer? Do you watch your little children suffer? You are little child, you are child. Okay, let me say, I'm not talking about 1 month, 1 year old child of yours. You won't allow anything to come near to hurt that child. But you are God Almighty. He's watching you suffering. And you are bragging. You are stupid. And if you're educated, you are an educated fool. Listen to this. Wherever God is, reality is not found there. Truth is not found there. Anywhere God is, you can never find reality there. You can never find truth there. It can never be. That's why I say, yes, I made a post. I said, somebody made it so, because I've been saying the same thing. I am heaven rejected. I am hell rejected. I say, why? Because God is there. I know where that thing is in the Bible now. Psalm 139 verse 8. I added it to it. I said, because he said, when you go to heaven, God is there. You go to hell, God is there. I don't believe in God. I hate God. I know God does not exist. So I will not go to heaven. I will not go to hell. I am earthly. I am a carnal man. I am a natural man. I am not sinful. I am perfect. I can never commit sin. Sin is imaginary bullshit religion made up. Human beings don't sin. No human being commits sin. Can never. Human beings are negative and positive, and that negative is not wrong. That negative and positive comes together to work. So stop fighting. I fight negative vibration. You are ignorant. It's spiritual people that taught you that nonsense. Learn it from the electric power. The red wire and the black wire, boom, that's how it works. The red wire is what? Life wire. The black wire is what? Natural. That's negative and positive. When you bring your car cannot run. If that battery don't have negative and positive, it can never run. That's nature. And those things were made learning from nature. Nature is balanced, man and woman. Not man is higher than woman. Not woman is above man. No competition. You stay in your own lane. You can never see two birds now collide in the air. No. You fly your own eagle fly. It's human beings that begin to put their nonsense, even attributing them to all these animals. Oh, lion is the king. Python is the king. They don't do that. They are not stupid like human beings. Converted human beings are stupid, not the real human beings. I am real. And I need no God. People that need God are people that are not real. And that's why the slave master created God for their slaves. So the slaves need God. They give them belief. They give them love. They give them hope. So, and the fear. They tell them, fear God. So when you fear God, you have faith. Okay, God can do this. Okay, that's okay. God has been performing miracles. You perform for me. Then out of that, you have hope. I hope it will happen. Miracle will happen. God will come. He must answer. God that answered by fire is my God. God of Elijah, God of Abraham is my God. He must answer. Then from there, you love. And that's why when love comes, it comes with commandment. You must love your enemies. If you don't love your enemies, you don't believe in God. I am real and in need of no God. I don't need any God. I don't need any Messiah. I don't need any being that is not real. All I need is my fellow human beings. I need animals. I need plants. That's all I need. I'm in the world where I am of the world. I am carnal. I'm not spiritual. I'm not religious. I am natural, eternal, perfect. Whatever is real functions on their own. Do you hear what I'm saying now? Whatever is real. Lions don't need you for them to function. Or animals don't need you for them to function. Plants don't need you for them to function. The sun don't need you to function. Likewise, you don't need them to, you don't need any God or state to function. No, you don't. You don't need any spirit to function. You don't need any soul to function. You were born to function. You were born to live. All you have to do is to explore and enjoy nature. Trust God, know the truth, and do what you know. Trust God, trust belief system, and live humanly. It is possible. Try it and see. Live your life. Pardon?